Imagine walking into a hospital room, stethoscope in hand, knowing every eye is judging you, not for your skills, but for your skin. Now, imagine your patient, a billionaire heiress, is secretly awake, hearing every word of prejudice thrown your way. This is the story of Dr. Marcus Reed, a 28-year-old neurologist who turned an elite hospital upside down with his brilliance and an unexpected ally. Dr. Marcus Reed stepped into the pristine halls of St. Augustine's Medical Center in Chicago, the city's crown jewel for the ultra-wealthy. At 28, he was a rising star, fresh from a neurology fellowship at Yale, but to some, he was just that scholarship kid from the South Side. On this chilly October morning in 2025, he headed to room 508, home to Elise Hawthorne, a 24-year-old heiress to a tech empire worth $3.2 billion. Elise had been in a coma for 5 months after a skiing accident in Aspen, her family treating the hospital like their personal estate, and its doctors like hired help. Marcus adjusted his scrubs, ignoring the whispers from nurses as he passed. He'd been assigned Elise's case 3 weeks ago, a move that raised eyebrows among the hospital's old guard. Dr. Evelyn Caldwell, the chief of surgery, had made her skepticism clear. "The Hawthorns fund our new cardiac wing," she'd said in a staff meeting, her voice dripping with doubt. "We can't afford mistakes with this doctor." Marcus knew what this meant. He'd heard it since med school. Too young, too black, too unlikely to belong. Inside room 508, Elise lay still, surrounded by orchids flown in weekly from Paris. Machines hummed, tracking her vitals, but Marcus saw what others missed: tiny signs of life, a flicker in her eyelids, a shift in her breathing when he spoke. His Yale thesis on locked-in syndrome had trained him to spot these clues. "Morning, Elise," he said softly, checking her chart. "Let's see what you're telling me today." What he didn't know was that Elise had been conscious for nearly a month, trapped in her body, hearing every word spoken in that room, including the Hawthorns' disdain for the new guy caring for their daughter. As Marcus changed Elise's bandages with precision, the door swung open. Lillian Hawthorne, the family matriarch, stormed in, her $5,000 heels clicking. Her son Gregory and Dr. Caldwell trailed behind, faces etched with suspicion. "What are you doing to my daughter?" Lillian demanded, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. Marcus stood tall, hands visible, a reflex from years of navigating hostility. "Routine neurological exam, Mrs. Hawthorne. Elise's vitals have stabilized since I adjusted her meds." Lillian's eyes narrowed. "You're suggesting she's conscious?" Dr. Caldwell stepped in, her tone icy. "That's speculative, Dr. Reed. The Hawthorns deserve proven expertise, not theories." The word proven hung heavy, a code Marcus knew too well. Elise's heart monitor beeped slightly faster, unnoticed by the others, but not by Marcus. She was listening, and it broke his heart to think she was hearing this. "I'll step back if that's what the family wants," Marcus said, his voice steady. "But I'd urge you to consider Elise's recent progress. She's responding to stimuli in ways Dr. Thornton's reports never mentioned." He didn't add that Thornton's notes were sloppy, missing basic observations Marcus had documented meticulously. Lillian waved him off. "We'll discuss this with Dr. Thornton. You're dismissed." As Marcus left, he whispered to Elise, too low for the others to hear, "If you're in there, I'm not giving up. You're stronger than they know." A faint twitch in her finger sent his pulse soaring, confirmation she was fighting to break through. 3 days later, Marcus was officially removed from Elise's case. Dr. Thornton resumed control, pushing for a risky brain stimulation surgery that Marcus knew could cause permanent damage. In his tiny apartment, Marcus pored over his private notes. Pupil dilation patterns, heart rate spikes during heated exchanges, even a video of Elise's eye tracking his voice. He called Dr. Sarah Patel, his mentor at Yale, now a consultant for the American Neurological Association. "Sarah, I've got proof Elise is conscious," he said, sharing his data, "but the hospital's ignoring it." Patel studied the files, her voice grim. "This is airtight, Marcus. You've got enough for the medical board. But the Hawthorns are untouchable. $50 million in donations last year alone." Marcus's eyes hardened. Not untouchable if Elise speaks for herself. He'd discovered something damning. Thornton's initial reports had misdiagnosed Elise's coma depth, and the Hawthorns had pushed to keep her sedated longer than necessary. citing estate planning in emails Marcus had accessed through a sympathetic nurse. At St. Augustine's, Elise's condition worsened under Thornton's care. Lillian demanded aggressive measures, unaware Elise was screaming inside, desperate to stop them. Marcus worked quietly, building his case. He contacted Dr. Rachel Nguyen, a medical ethics investigator and a producer from Truth in Medicine, a PBS investigative show. "I'm not just exposing negligence," he told Nguyen. "I'm proving systemic bias in who gets to treat the elite." Late at night, Marcus slipped into room 508 with a nurse's help, using a technique from his thesis, rhythmic hand squeezes to communicate yes or no. "Elise, can you hear me?" 2 squeezes. "Yes." "Do you want to stop the surgery?" 2 squeezes. "I'm building a case. Will you help?" 2 squeezes. Stronger this time. Elise was ready to fight. The showdown came at a hospital board meeting called to approve Thornton's surgery. Lillian and Gregory sat smugly as Thornton droned about cutting-edge procedures. Marcus wasn't invited, but he didn't need to be. At 10:15 a.m., the auditorium doors opened and Marcus walked in with Dr. Nguyen, a Truth in Medicine cameraman, and Dr. Patel, whose reputation silenced the room. "Pardon the interruption," Marcus said, his voice calm but commanding. "You're about to approve a surgery that could kill Elise Hawthorne when she's already conscious." Gregory shot up. "You're out of line, Reed." Dr. Nguyen flashed her badge. "Dr. Reed has evidence of malpractice. I'm here to ensure it's heard." Marcus laid it out. Thornton's outdated protocols, ignored neurological signs, and financial emails showing the Hawthorne's motives. He played a video of Elise's eye movements responding to his voice, time-stamped weeks ago. "She's been awake for a month," he said, "hearing every word, including your plans to keep her under for your own gain." Lillian gasped, but Marcus wasn't done. He projected Elise's medical records, highlighting Thornton's errors. "This isn't just negligence, it's endangerment." The room froze as Marcus connected a tablet to the projector. Elise appeared on screen, sitting up, eyes clear. "I'm Elise Hawthorne," she said, her voice weak but firm. "Dr. Reed saved my life. He saw what no one else did. My family and Dr. Thornton ignored my recovery to control my trust fund. I want Dr. Reed reinstated. Now." The fallout was swift. Thornton was suspended, his license under review. The Hawthornes faced fraud investigations, their $3.2 billion empire crumbling under scrutiny. Dr. Nguyen announced Marcus's promotion to head of neurology, backed by a $10 million Yale grant for his research. Lillian left in silence, her influence shattered. 6 months later, St. Augustine's was transformed. Marcus's Reed protocol for coma patients saved 17 lives, earning global acclaim. Elise, now co-founder of the Reed Hawthorne Foundation, fought medical discrimination, funding scholarships for minority doctors. Their first case won a $6 million settlement for a fired Asian surgeon. In his new office overlooking Lake Michigan, Marcus smiled at a photo of his team, diverse, brilliant, chosen for skill alone. Elise walked in, holding a letter. "Stanford's offering you their neuro chair, $40 million in funding." Marcus laughed. "Let's make them wait." The Hawthornes, meanwhile, faded into obscurity, their name synonymous with greed. At a national neurology conference, Marcus closed his keynote. "Excellence is the best revenge. When they doubt you, don't shout, shine." Elise, in the front row, knew she'd witnessed history, a doctor who didn't just win, but rewrote. If this story of grit and justice fired you up, smash that subscribe button for more tales of underdogs turning tables. Because sometimes the greatest victory isn't defeating your enemies, it's building a world where they can't ignore you.